Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're going to be doing a Cricut project. I was planning on doing my bee wreath today, but I wanted to do a Mother's Day project, so I thought I'd better do that today so that if somebody wanted to try it themselves, they'd have time to do it between now and Mother's Day. This is a card project. I'm going to make this card. Let me just show you. Isn't this beautiful? This is an Anna Griffin card, and we're going to be making that today using the Cricut Access. I think you'll enjoy it. It's kind of fun to watch how that comes together. I'm going to bring you along to Cricut Access and show you how we put it together after it's cut out by the machine. I have a Cricut Air 2, which is a Bluetooth machine, so it's back there behind these boxes. As you can see, I'm cleaning out my craft room closet and not throwing all those away. That I just went through all those drawers and put them together nicer and folded up all my laces and trims and put them in the right boxes, right drawers, and so on and so forth. They were just kind of everywhere. When I make an album, what I do is I take one of those shoe boxes and I kind of go around and I get together and gather up all of the pieces that I think I might want to put in that particular album, whether it be all white or it might be, purple flowers or so on and so forth, and the metal pieces and the paper pieces and so on, so that when I'm actually sitting down to do a project like that, which is quite time consuming, I don't have to keep getting up and going back and forth all the time to try and get the pieces I want to decorate the book with. So they kind of got all mishmashed and muddle-fuddled, so I'm putting them back together where they belong. And I have other things that I'm cleaning out of that closet so that I can get everything out off the rug, vacuum and shampoo the rug, and then we'll put things back in an orderly fashion. So I'm going to take you along now, and I'm going to bring you on to Cricut Design Space, Cricut Access they call it, and I will show you how we get this materials for the Anna Griffin bow card for Mother's Day. I'll be right back. Hang in there. Okay, here we are in the Cricut Access, and I am going to click on New Project. And it's going to bring up my screen. And then what I want is I want to look at under my projects. I don't want my projects. I want Cricut Access and I want Anna Griffin. And Anna Griffin does some very pretty projects, very intricate, very fussy and florally and so on and so forth. And for the most part, for the longest time, you had to pay separately for her projects. Most of them are now available on Cricut Access. So I'm going to find this card. It's called the bow card because she has bows that she has made. And here it is right here. Isn't that a pretty card? So the best thing I think for the most part, unless it's absolutely exactly what you want, is I always press the word customize down here. And that just allows me to make any changes I want before I print it. So it's going to bring up this card, and I'm just going to kind of move pieces off to the side here for a minute because I want to work with that square or rectangle. Now this is the card base, which I will not cut out. I will just make my own white card base. Okay, it's a 5x7 card base, but I want to put something on the inside of the card so that when I make the card, it's all done. So I'm going to start by getting a shape, and I'll get a square. I'm going to move the square over here. Now we're making believe this is now the inside we're looking at. I'm going to unlock it and bring it down so it fits nicely on the inside of the card. Now, I want it to be the same pink as this. So up here at the top, and I highlight that, you see it says black up here now. And I'm going to change that. The top colors along this top row are the colors that are being used currently in this project. So if I press this pink, it'll come out the same pink as the other one. Okay, so now I have my pink insert for the inside of the card, but I want to write something on it. So I'm going to press over here to the left the word text. And I'm going to write mothers are special. Oops, let me just capitalize that. And I think I have 2 spaces here. Oh, SPEC. Let's try that again. Wait a minute. If I could, my flying fingers here. There we go. And then this one, especially mine. Then I'm going to go down a few, and then I'm going to write Happy Mother's Day. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this, once I get it highlighted, and move it up, and you can see it's much, much too big. So we'll size it down and see if we can fit that on there. It's still a little too big. We'll get it right to where we want it. That's pretty good. Now, I want to center these words. Right above this is the word alignment. Click on it and hit center. Perfect. Now, the next thing I want is I don't want this particular font. If I go up here, now the words are still highlighted. I go up here and I get my drop down. I'm going to use a child's year, and this is a single layer cutting or writing font. It just has kind of a cuter font than that one. Now it made it a little bit different in size, you see. So now I need to just recenter this a little bit. Okay, but I don't want the machine to cut out each one of these letters for me to put in there. So I am going to highlight this text, and I'm going way down to the bottom right, and I'm going to hit the word flatten. Now that has been flattened, but I want it to cut out this whole thing. So now the text I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to hold down my shift key and highlight the pink square so that everything is highlighted, and I'm going to hit the word flatten once again. Now this means that this is all attached, and it's going to print it just like that and then cut it out, and I will just have to insert it into the middle of the card. Just to show you what some of these things look like. Now what I'm going to do first is I'll get rid of this. I don't want to get rid of that, so I would just get rid of this. Okay, and you can see I'm going to have a green layer. Now if I click on this big bow square, I'm going to ungroup it just to show you. There is a pink layer, there's a white layer, and a yellow layer. And normally I would not cut out this yellow layer because it's just a rectangle, but I want to make sure they match, all 3 of them match well. So I'm going to just leave it like that. So the next thing I'm going to do, I think that's all I need now. I've got my front, the bow pieces, and this is actually 2 pieces here. Let me just show you. If I ungroup the bow, you'll see that there is a piece underneath it too, see? But that's just the way they have them stacked. and that will be under the bow when the bow is put together. All right, so now let's just hit the word make it and see what happens here. The first thing is we're going to print this Mothers Are Special, especially mine, and then the machine will cut it out just like this. The next sheet will be a white sheet, and you see the bows. Then I will have the pink sheet with the bows. I will have the yellow square, and I will have all of the pieces to make the bow at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to go over to the machine and get this going, and I will be back at the desk when I've got all the pieces and we'll put this card together. Be back in a few minutes. Okay, here I am back at the desk, and I have taken a piece of white cardstock and cut it 10 inches by 7 inches and scored it in half, and that has made a 5 by 7 card. Okay, now I'm going to start putting on these items. I wanted to show you first. Look how intricately that machine cut this. Is that beautiful? Look at that. And then this is the white, and of course you can't see that unless I put it on top of the yellow. But they're all going to be together in a minute. Now, I want to put on these two stripes. So I'm trying to find the placement for them. And the placement is so that this piece, it shows below this piece here. So I'm going to put this piece here in the middle, kind of, and I'm going to just put these a little bit underneath it. All right, so I'm going to put that one right about here. I'm using art glitter glue. It's excellent glue. I had to work half an hour to get it unstuck. It dries clear and it dries very quickly. All right, so if I have that one like that, I'm going to get this one up here about right in there. Okay, right about there. And if it doesn't quite line up, then I'm not going to worry about it. Woo-wee! All right, now the next thing I'm going to do, let's see how that worked out. Very nice. Okay, good. As I'm going to put these three pieces together, the white is going to go on top of the yellow, and then the pink is going on top of all of them. Now I'm going to try to just get little dots of this glue along the sides here. I have the small tip, but it still comes out quite big for these very intricate patterns, and it seems to be enough space in between these bows here to get a dot. And like I said, if anything should squeeze out or whatever, it dries clear. So let's just get this one adhered to the yellow. You don't want to do this on the front, you tear it. There we go, okay? Now we're going to put the pink one on top of the white. And that's a little bit smaller, but we'll just do our dots. Right in the middle of each one of these bows, there's a room for a dot. And I'm going to put a dot on each corner and a couple of them along the edge. And I think we should be able to do that now. Boy, that gives it a nice 3D effect. Let me just burnish that a little bit from the back. Get that. And now we'll put that on the card. Very nice. I'm going to use the glue for this too. I could use my ATG gun, but the glue is out and it's right here. It takes the machine a little bit of time to cut this because it's so intricate. And there's a couple of little spots. And what I'm going to do, I have a pin here, and I'm just going to go underneath a couple of these little places. Get some glue on them. If I see any that are really sticking up. Well, it looks pretty good to me. And that one got a little bit crooked, and we'll just trim it. And no one except you and I will know the difference. I'm sure somebody's not going to pick that up with all of these bows on here. All right. Now the next thing we have to work on is this bow. And the way you make these bows is you fold everything to the middle, but you don't bend it. You see, I didn't bend it. Okay? I'm going to put just a little bit of glue here in the middle to begin to hold it. And I really got too much, but we'll work with it. And you just bend them all into the middle. Get in there. there is something going to hold this in a minute, but you have to get them in there first. It's a little tricky. Like that one, get in there. And then this piece goes up around the whole thing. Bends down around the back. And I had that stuck to my finger and I pulled them right out. Look at that. But we'll get it in. We'll just take this back out and get these in. And put this on. And I'm going to decorate the middle of this, so if it's a little wonky here in the middle, it's not going to make any difference. And then this is going to get glued onto this piece. Is that pretty? But what we're going to do let me get my sticky out. I have my fingers so sticky and I'm stuck. These are supposed to have glue on the back of them, but some of the glue is not coming off. Here we go. Oh, pretty. Look at that, huh? And now that just goes right here on the bottom of the card. Now, what I am going to do, and I don't know that I'll do it all here because it will take quite a while, but let me just see how many I can get. I'm going to put one on each one of these bows. Could use my tweezers. And this one is a little off. There we go. Now this card is obviously a card that would be hand delivered because it would not go through the mail. One more row. I don't have to do the bottom row because that big bow is covering it up pretty well. And these pearls probably came from Michael's. I've had them for a long time, so I honestly can't tell you for sure. There you go. How pretty. How blingy. Now I have got this piece for inside. So let me just get that on. And there you go. Isn't that a beautiful card? Anna Griffin does make some really, really pretty cards. That would cheer anybody up, wouldn't it? In fact, if you want to try making this with your Cricut, doesn't have to be for Mother's Day, put anything you want in there. So that's the project for today. That was fun. That's a little bit intricate. I have to show you one thing though. When the machine cuts that out, it cuts it very nicely. But look at the mess it leaves on the mats. All of that will have to be scraped off. You just use one of those Cricut paddles here, and I just had it out and I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, I'll have to scrape that all off. And it comes off all right. You just have to, what you do is you scrape it off the mat, because if you don't, it'll stick to wherever it lands. And my mats are soon going to need to be re-stickied. I don't find that the sticky lasts as long as it used to. I won't make you watch me clean off the mats, but that's how you have to get that off of there. And I can see I used this mat at Christmas time. It's got glitter stuck on it. So, must have been from Christmas. So that's one. We'll get the other one in just a minute. In the meantime, enjoy this card. I think it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it would make someone very happy. So that's it for today. Friday we're going to be doing the bee wreath. I was going to do it today, but I wanted to get a Mother's Day project done a little earlier, so if somebody wanted to try it, they'd have time to make it. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed playing on the Cricut if you're a Cricketer. And if you're not, it's just fun to kind of watch those machines do their thing. So that's it for today, and I will be back in just a couple minutes with a few closing words. Hold on there. So there you go. What'd you think? I thought it was excellent. I think it's such a pretty card. And I am amazed at how that machine can cut out things that are so intricate, little lacy patterns or bow patterns and things like that. It did an excellent job. And I haven't put a new blade in that machine since I've had it. So it's still doing a very nice job. I actually have two Cricuts. I have the original Cricut. It's in the closet, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I have that and, oh, I don't know, probably 10, 20 cartridges. That one doesn't, you can't use Cricut Access with it because it requires a cartridge be put into it in order to use it. But I don't know, I'll probably pull it out one of these days. It was fun to use. I used it for a number of years and it works just like brand new. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up. I enjoyed doing that card with you, and we'll see you again on Friday. And we'll be working on probably a bee wreath. It's either going to be the bee wreath or it will be something patriotic. I need to do another candle ring for my baker's rack. So we'll make a decision on what we'll be doing shortly. But until then, I want everybody to stay safe, play by the rules, you know, social distancing and all of that, and play nice. And I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.